Welcome to Make It Happen. I'm Alex, and today we'll be making a 1940s Thompson submachine gun. To begin this build, I drew up a rough template using reference images to a total length of 850mm, where I used a 590.5mm length of 15mm PVC pipe to be the main structure from the tip of the barrel to the end of the body, where I then used scrap pieces of artboard and cut out the shapes of the shoulder stock and grips. These pieces were then hot glued to the barrel, making sure that they were in the correct position and perpendicular to the pipe. Using the template and the core piece, I made a rough outline of the shapes I need to cut out with EVA foam. I also shaped an edge along the side of the pieces that will touch the pipe to ensure a tight fit. These were then attached to the core piece using PVA wood glue with some added weights and left to dry. I went back over the gaps between the pipe and the foam and filled with hot glue for a better connection, and I also added the top ridge. The drum magazine was constructed out of EVA foam circles with a diameter of 145mm. These were then connected using hot glue with extra pieces to bulk up the width, as you can see here. I then took out my rotary tool and with a sanding drum I began to carefully carve away at the foam to correct the shape of the gun and the drum. I also used a few cheap magnets that were fitted and hot glued to the gun and drum magazine to make it a functional reloadable clip, which will also allow for easy storing. It was now time to bust out the craft foam to build up the thickness of the gun's body and add detailed pieces. For the tip of the barrel, I took a 58mm length of 32mm PVC pipe, where I cut out the muzzle brakes and attached foam rings on the outside for details and on the inside to fit the 15mm barrel. I also painted the end of the barrel now because the muzzle will make it difficult later. Using bits and pieces of scrap foam and plastics I found, I constructed all of the sights and mechanical detail pieces. The next stage is to apply acrylic gap filler over the entire prop, fixing up any imperfections. This was then sanded down with 120 grit sandpaper and repeated until satisfaction. Before we can start painting, you'll need to apply 3 coats of PVA wood glue. If you have used styrofoam instead of EVA foam, you'll need to apply 6 coats. For painting, I first applied a base coat of grey primer, where I then taped off the prop to separate the handles from the main body to coat with a charcoal spray. The grips and shoulder stock were then coated with multiple layers of brown paint, with different textures for each layer to achieve a wood grain. I then made multiple weathering effects where I applied different colors of paint using an acrylic wash technique to age the prop. The last step is to coat the prop with a clear gloss finish. And once that is dry, you'll have your very own Tommy Gun cosplay prop. If you have enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more projects, please hit that like button and subscribe to make it happen.